Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Penny Holbert. I'm the president for Crew Tampa Bay for this year. Thank you all for joining us this evening with our meeting with the mayor. I have a couple of announcements before we get started. And of course, I would be remiss, and BJ would probably kill me if I didn't mention to you all about membership. As you all may know, we have a kind of a half-a-year deal. It's coming up starting July 1st. And so it's a great time to join Crew for the remainder of the year. We'd love for you to go to the website, www.crew-june11-mayor.wmv, click and join. If you've got folks, if you are a guest here tonight, we would encourage you to look at that. If you have any questions about membership, speak with me, speak with BJ, she's raising her hand, or any of our ambassadors. Also wanted to let you all know about a couple of upcoming events that we've got. As you know, this will now be our third annual Economic Summit. It's going to be on Tuesday, July 19th. And we invited Anirban Basu back, who's the chairman and CEO of the SAGE Policy Group. He was wonderful last year if you had an opportunity to join us. So we're very excited that we were able to work this into his calendar again for this year. And Fred Walrath, who's just doing a great job chairing that committee, has a couple words he wants to say.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. We are, like we said, the Economic Summit is going to be July 19th. It's going to be right here at the Intercontinental downstairs. So please put it on your calendar. And if anyone would like to work on the committee, please call me or send me an email.
Great. Thanks, Fred.
Sure.
And of course, we would also be remiss if we didn't mention our sponsors who do make all of this happen for us. Our premier sponsor, thank you very much, Roxanne, is Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Our partners are Sharon and Lee, thank you very much, ABI Construction Services, and Stearns, Weaver, Miller, Weissler, Allhalf, and Simmons. Our platinum sponsors are Dara, thank you very much, Cherry Becker and Holland, and BJ, thank you very much, GLE Associates. And our media sponsors are Facilities Today and the Tampa Bay Business Journal. And our silver sponsor for tonight, who bought all of you all's drinks this evening, thank you very much, is Corporate Interiors. And Drew Marshall, I believe is here. Drew's going to come up and say thank you very much. Always exciting. So, but I think the microphone's working. So
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Penny. Yeah, we're thrilled to be here. I'm not going to talk to you much about Corporate Interiors. I think most of you know who we are. We've been one of the leaders throughout the state of Florida in office furnishings for many years. But what I would like to say is that we're thrilled to be part of the program tonight and to be a supporter of Crew. I've had the opportunity to hear our mayor speak a few times recently, and I've always come away inspired by his vision for the future of our community. So I'm excited to hear more of that tonight. It's a vision that speaks loudly to me personally, and also speaks loudly to my business partner, Manny Bueller, because we're not natives of Florida. We're not natives of Tampa. We moved here 4 years ago to acquire a business, and we acquired Corporate Interiors. So we had long corporate careers in Southern California. We decided we wanted to acquire a business together. We looked really all around the country, and we decided that this was a community that we wanted to be a part of. This is a community we wanted to move our families to raise our children in, and ultimately to invest our capital in. So we're thrilled to be here. Again, I think most of you know the company. If you don't, you probably know Josie Alvarez. She's one of the leaders in our company. If you haven't met Manny and me, please come up and say hello after the program. Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your story, Drew. That was great.
Penny, can I add something to that?
Please do.
I met Drew on the fly, so to speak, and found out that he is a West Point graduate. And my brother's a West Point graduate. And when he was in my office with Josie telling me about his wares, if you will, I got my brother on the phone and put them on the phone together. And my brother graduated in 1969 from West Point. I won't say Drew did. But it was like a deja vu. It was just so neat. He's a great guy.
Teased me for a few years. I'm not holding that against you.
There you go. Thank you very much. I'm going to tell you all, before the mayor comes up, I'm going to tell you all a couple of fun facts about the mayor. So I'm sure everyone has met the mayor. If you haven't met him, here's a great opportunity to meet him. But he's got a bio, and you can probably go on the website and see the bio, and it'll tell you all this, the standard sorts of things. He's a Penn State graduate. He's been in politics on and off. He's also been in the corporate world as well. But I bet you all did not know this. He started, one of his first positions here in the Tampa Bay area was the Director of Governmental Affairs for, yes, the Builders Association of Greater Tampa. Wow. All right. He was also led the efforts to establish the Hillsborough County Housing Finance Agency. Another fun fact. And again, I'm picking out your real estate stuff because you are very accomplished, Mayor Buckhorn, but I was going to pick out some of the things that I thought this crowd would find interesting. He also was very involved. He was the chair for the McDill Reuse Advisory Committee, which was responsible for helping to save the efforts to keep McDill open. You guys may recall a number of years ago, there's always been talk about base closures and that sorts of thing. And so Mayor Buckhorn was instrumental in keeping McDill here and keeping it as vibrant as it is. And actually his services were utilized in other places around the state because it was so successful here. So another fun fact. Obviously, he's been in the political world as well, but one of his other cool facts, because he's now speaking to a group of women and enlightened men that are here, he is surrounded by women in his house. Not only is he married to a very wonderful woman, if y'all haven't met his wife, Dr. Buckhorn. She is the she's an OBGYN. She's also the Associate Vice President for the Department of Obstetrics, at the University of South Florida. But he also has 2 daughters. So he is in a house full of women. So we knew that he would feel very comfortable being with us this evening. So, without further ado, what we were going to do is invite the mayor up. We've got a couple of questions that we're going to ask him, and then we're going to open this up so that you all can ask him some questions as well. So, Mayor Buckhorn.
Penny, before you do that, in case any of you were wondering whether I have any control of my house or not, my wife is Dr. Kathy Lynch, so she practices under her maiden name, and so I absolutely have no say in my house whatsoever. I am not the mayor of my own house. And there have been times when you're married to a physician, people come up to you and say the damnedest things. You can imagine some of the conversations that I have had. From maybe some of you who have come up to me and said, your wife is my doctor. And no. At this point, I'm like this. And I'm like, honey, couldn't you have been an orthopedic surgeon? So if you ever see me with my wife, and she is your doctor, please tell me to leave the room before you start talking to her about whatever it is you're talking about. Because my advice is always take 2 aspirin and call around the morning. So there's no allure for me anymore.
Good. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. I guess our first question is, in your campaign for mayor, you clearly articulated a plan to change Tampa's economic DNA to better position our city for economic opportunities. And can you speak to your first year goal and how they relate to real estate opportunities, since you're in a crowd of real estate folks, and how can we support your leadership?
Well, great. And yes, it was a long campaign with some very, very talented folks. And it was a field probably unlike any field that we have seen in the last 25 years. They were great opponents, Penny. 3 of them had never lost a race before. We had some folks there that had served this community well for a very, very long time. And certainly, I honor their service, and in particular Mayor Greco. We wouldn't be where we are right now had it not been for Dick Greco, and I was honored to compete against him, and was lucky to have prevailed in the long run. But I'm also very thankful about the stewardship of Pam Iota. More than I can tell you, every day I am so thankful to have followed her, because when she took office, there was what's called a fund balance, which is sort of our escrow account. When she took office, it was $20 million. The fund balance that I inherited on April 1st was $120 million.
Wow.
And so, in spite of some very, very difficult times, in spite of having to reduce the size of city government significantly, she was able to put aside an awful lot of money for, emergencies. I mean, I just spent the last 3 hours in a hurricane preparedness session, and I wake up every night praying that we don't get hit with a hurricane, but worried that we're not prepared if we do. I think we are prepared. I told our folks today that we're going to practice, and we're going to practice, and we're going to practice, and then we're going to practice some more, because you play the way you practice. And so, but because of Pam's leadership and because of her stewardship, the deficit that I'm facing, which is a $30 million deficit, it's a serious, serious problem. I mean, it's $30 million that I've got to fill, largely because of the fund balance that she has left. We are in much, much better shape than most jurisdictions around the country. The city of Hollywood, my CFO just told me the other day, has a fund balance of $2 million. I would have ulcers with a fund balance of $2 million. I mean, you just can't. I mean, you get hit with one storm. I mean, that tornado that hit South Tampa probably cost us at least half that much. But the answer to your question is, I mean, it was a great campaign. We talked a lot about the need for generational change. We talked a lot about the need for having a plan, being prepared to execute that plan, talking about the jobs of the future versus the jobs of the past, talking about how we change our economic DNA, how we look at everything that we do, and focus not on the jobs that allow you to merely move to the middle class. We've talked about jobs that create wealth, create real wealth. And I oftentimes use the analogy as a parent, and many of you do as well. I mean, my wife Kathy and I are going to spend a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of our love and affection for those kids to give them the best education that they have. And we're going to send them to the best schools that we can afford. And I'm not sending my girls off to get a great education to lose them to Raleigh, Durham, or to Austin, Texas, or Charlotte, North Carolina. And all of us have stories of friends or kids of friends who couldn't find the opportunities here and left, in spite of a great education here, left for other places because that's where the opportunities were. And so if we're going to create the jobs of the future, because my girls aren't coming home for a call center job. That's not meant with any disrespect to call centers. But the jobs of the future that create real wealth and real opportunities require a different mindset. And part of that means that we've got to be competitive. And right now we're not. Any of you who pull a permit, as all of you do, know that you'd probably rather have your teeth pulled without anesthesia than go through the permitting process.
We thought it was the same thing.
Yeah, getting your teeth pulled is probably less painful. It's awful. I mean, it is awful. When I got there, I figured out very quickly, and I talked a lot about this during the course of the campaign, because I had started in the building industry. I mean, I understood very clearly the value of time, the value of money. When that interest clock is ticking on a $100 million loan, that's serious cash. And every day that goes by that you don't get your permit, that's more interest that you're having to carry and having to pay for. And if we delay it long enough, then the project is not feasible anymore. There are developers in this town that run around this country saying that they will never invest in Tampa, Florida again. Big developers. Because the permitting process was so painful to get through. And so I realized very quickly, a long time ago, but more specifically when I got there, that our regulatory process and our permitting process is spread across the organizational chart. You've got construction services, you've got, and I'm just going to name names, the departments may not mean anything. Mark Huey, who has a portion of it. You had Cindy Miller, who had a portion of it. You had water, sewer, wastewater, transportation, who have a portion of it. You've got the fire marshal, who has a portion of it. You've got Parks and Recreation, who tie themselves to trees. You know, there's only response, they have two responses.
Yeah, I'll erase that.
Sometimes I think their only two responses are, you can't build here, and you can't build there either. But they have a portion of it as well. None of these entities that I just talked about, there's no accountability, there's nobody in charge. And so when you submit your plans, you're bouncing from point A to literally point Z with nobody being able to make a decision. There are no time frames associated with those permits. There's no accountability. And so they will take your plans and they will send them to Omaha. You'll get them back, and it will have triggered another review by another agency because they disagreed with the interpretation of the previous agency. So it's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And so what we are going to do, and we've started this process right now, and I'm going to need your help on some of this. You know Cindy Miller, her husband Louis Miller was the airport aviation authority director, who is now, you know, we decided he wasn't doing a good job, so now he's running Atlanta. Cindy has left to go to be with Louis. Mark Huey has got a great opportunity in Sarasota, and is going to be taking over the Sarasota Economic Development Committee. So that gives me a great opportunity to consolidate those two departments. I'm going to bring in all of the regulators from every other agency that is involved in the permitting and regulatory process. They are going to be moved under one agency. I talked a lot about during the course of the campaign, creating a slot of deputy mayor for economic opportunity. And you know, the title deputy mayor is more semantic, but what I'm absolutely focused on, and what I want the city bureaucracy to focus on, is that my priorities are two: economic development and neighborhood empowerment. That's it. Everything else is ancillary. And so we are going to move everybody who touches the economic development process into one agency, including all of our CRAs, including all of our TIFs, including anybody that's involved in permits and regulatory processes, are going to be in one silo with one person in charge. But I'm going to need your help as we go through this process in terms of identifying for me, from a private sector perspective, you know, where the pitfalls are, where the weaknesses are. I mean, you know, our staff is excited about the opportunity to sort of get it back on track. But we're going to need your help to help us, because you were the ones that applied for permits and deploying permits, that understand what works and what doesn't work. And so I'm going to need you there. But that, you know, changing the culture takes time. Now, I'm in a hurry. I got 4 years. I don't sleep much, and I don't expect them to sleep either. And so we're going to get on it. We're going to start soon. I'm going to push them. I'm going to ride them hard. And at the end of 6 months, because I'm not waiting for 2 years and 3 years and 4 years. At the end of 6 months, I want a revamped, not only structure, but we're also going to look at every code, because what we tend to do is apply suburban development codes on urban infill projects. You can't apply the same standards in Tampa Heights for water retention and landscaping and parking that you do in a suburban mall in Brandon. When you redevelop and rehabilitate historic structures, there are unique and very specific challenges, whether it's fire marshal, whether it's parking, that you can't apply suburban development codes on. And so if we're going to redevelop the inner city, and when I say the inner city, I mean the urban core. I see Christine Bird here. When I'm done, and I'm going to make the assumption that, you know, maybe if I'm lucky, 50% plus one in 3 years may still like me. From Ybor City to Howard Armenia, from Kennedy Boulevard to Columbus Drive. The river's the center of our downtown, not the western edge. North Hyde Park is truly an urban village. The Armory is the anchor on Howard Armenia side. We've got a downtown that's alive, that's vibrant. We have a major university smack in the middle of our downtown with all the energy that those young people provide. We have Ybor City that's actually connected to downtown. We've got a trolley system that maybe works. That would be helpful. And maybe, I know this is one of your questions, a baseball stadium. We can talk about baseball. I know a lot of people want me to talk about baseball. But I'm a big city guy. I'm an urban guy. And we've got close to $1 billion invested in downtown Tampa. This is not to the exclusion of other areas. But if I've got $1 billion invested, I got to find a way to make it work. You know, from the Performing Arts Center all the way around to the Florida Aquarium. I mean, we've got to find a way to connect those dots to make downtown a viable 18-hour day environment with retail and restaurants and commercial. Residential housing is starting to come back, but we need some of the other things to go along with it, some of the grocery stores. Roxanne is in the midst of a great project in Central Park Village that will be pivotal in our downtown core.
The Housing Authority.
I know, I see Jerome back there. Wake up, Jerome. The Housing Authority has a number of opportunities to partner with us, not only in Central Park Village, but there are other opportunities as well to change the landscape in our urban core. And so, to me, what we look like right now is not what we're going to look like in 8 years. And I mean, I will be tireless in my pursuit of that. And I candidly don't care whether people like me, because I'm not going anywhere after this. And so we're going to say that 20 years from now, my girls want to come home to Tampa, Florida to raise their kids, and that we are a city and a country that can compete with anyone. That's what my mission is. And whether I have to break eggs to get there, that's fine. That's what mayors do. You know, if you just want to be nice, or if you just want to be so politically cautious that you're not going to burn your political capital, then go do something else. That's not what mayors do. Mayors get stuff done. And so I'm not worried about being nice. I'm not trying to be nice. My wife will still like me. My dogs will like me. But we got to get stuff done. I mean, we got to be ready in 18 months or 12 months when this economy turns around, put that gas pedal down and just go. And just go. And then we'll be able to compete with some of these other areas we're talking about. So that was a very long answer, Penny.
No, thank you. As you know, Crew is an organization that focuses on supporting and elevating women in commercial real estate. And we have a highly skilled and talented membership base. In the past, Crew Tampa Bay has been involved in the City of Tampa's revitalization program with our Art Loud and with the Riverwalk programs. What are your downtown revitalization goals? How can we help you?
Well, in a couple of ways. I mean, I think first and foremost, I need you as a sounding board. And hopefully, Penny and Julia and all of you that are engaged will allow me the opportunity to meet with you on a regular basis. Because I need your advice. You're out there on front lines. You're pulling the permits. You know, you're dealing, making the deals. You're working with the developers. I mean, I need your input. You sort of ground me. You know, you give me real world experiences. You tell me where I'm going wrong and what I'm doing right and what you need to be successful. Because my job as the mayor is not to grow government jobs. My job is to set the table for you to be successful and to create an environment where entrepreneurs flourish and where the private sector does well. I need to get out of the way, but I need to set a tone and a tenor for this community that we are open for business and that we are not going to let anything stand in the way of a good deal, because I can't cut my way out of this recession. I cannot reduce city government to fill that $30 million gap. The only way we get out of this recession is to grow the economy. And the only way we grow the economy is to get you permitted, get you out the door, work, get you turning dirt, and get you building things, because when you add value to the tax roll, then I recoup tax revenues. That's how we get out of this economic recession. And so I need to get out of your way, and I need to get city government out of your way. That doesn't mean we, throw out health, safety, and welfare rules. That means that we understand that, first of all, we're in a customer service business, and that two, that getting you through that process and finding ways to say yes is more important than having you justify why you should get a permit, which seems to be the attitude of the bureaucracy now. So I'm going to need your advice. I'd love to meet with you on a regular basis, if that's okay. In terms of the downtown environment, I think Christine has been waiting for this opportunity. Yes, I think her smile speaks volumes. I think we are poised. I think the city is poised on the verge of breaking loose. I think folks, we lost our way for a while. I mean, I can remember sitting in the mayor's office when I worked for Sandy Friedman for 8 years, when Charlotte, North Carolina used to come here to see how we did stuff. We were the city in America that everybody talked about. Shame on us for not still being that city. But that doesn't mean we're not capable of getting there again. And so I think we are this far away, with a plan, with the right attitude, with everybody understanding that we have a responsibility not only to believe in something bigger than just ourselves, but we have a responsibility and an obligation to all pull that rope together. Put these silly parochial differences aside, put these silly artificial lines on a map aside, put political labels aside. We've got to get back on track and be absolutely single-minded in our focus on getting this economy back on track, focusing on what Tampa Bay does well, and the critical cluster areas where we have competitive advantages. Focus on those, grow those high-tech jobs, take advantage of that university that's the recipient of close to $400 million in applied research. At one point, this is an amazing statistic, but it tells you what we could do. Silicon Valley, 60% of the gross domestic product was directly tied to Stanford University. You know what that means? That means all the research that was coming through Stanford University was then spun off out into the corporate world. All those high-tech jobs, all of the venture capital that was attracted to those smart people that were coming out of Stanford and that were spinning off the research into the private sector and growing jobs and growing companies. That's how you start to take advantage of the economic engine that USF is. Moffitt Cancer Center, same thing. M2 Gen, what we're doing in downtown Tampa, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's going to generate on the conservative side 30,000 room nights a year from doctors who are coming from all over the world to study robotics and simulation at a USF facility in downtown Tampa. That's huge. But that's what our future looks like. And we've got to find a way to grow that economy. And how does the mayor help? Well, when you look at zoning, I'll bet the zoning around the Camels Project doesn't allow for medical devices and medical uses. Maybe we need to create an incubator down there from some of the technology firms that are going to be coming in, getting their products into that Camels facility. There's all kinds of things that we can do, that the mayor can do to help you all be successful. But it's a different paradigm. We're going to start looking at things differently. We can't just be interested in building buildings to fill them with call center jobs. Call center jobs don't create wealth, real wealth. And I hate to pick on them because they provide an opportunity for some of our community members, but it doesn't create wealth. And the only way you move as a community to create real value and real wealth, because then people are buying homes, buying cars, contributing back to charities, raising the educational attainment level, which means you're going to raise the economic level.
With the legislature and Governor Scott recently changed the growth management law that had been in place for a very long time. And I was just wondering what your thoughts are on how that's going to impact Tampa.
Well, I thought you were going to ask me my opinion of Governor Scott.
I know.
Glad you did.
I know I wouldn't ask that question.
He's a nice man. I got to work with him.
Don't make me edit again.
Say something nice.
My personal opinion is that if you drive decision-making down to the local level, you have better decision-making. they basically gutted a lot of growth management legislation in Tallahassee. I think some of that was a mistake. I think they threw out probably 25 years of responsible growth management legislation, particularly as it relates to mitigation of wetlands and some of the other things. Had the bureaucracy become too big and too cumbersome? Absolutely. You know, you've got a lot of duplication between, you know, the EPC and some of the other environmental regulators at the state level. That was problematic, but I don't think it warranted the elimination of a lot of that stuff. You know, there's good development and then there's development, and we want good development. And we've seen enough bad development in the state of Florida. All you have to do is drive up Dale Avery or Adelaide Drive, and you'll see what happens when there are no standards and there are no regulations. So I can't control that, but I can control at the local level, given that we are going to get far more authority in the permitting process to make sure that, you know, we uphold a certain standard, but at the same time, we don't add to the bureaucracy. Our job is to get you through the process as quickly as possible.
You know, your predecessor was deeply involved with trying to improve public transportation, trying to implement the light rail, which we were unable to get public support for. Was wondering, what are your goals for campus transportation? How do you plan to convince the state public that we need to be supporting your goals?
Well, we can only have to do government in 3 years. That's probably where you start.
Edit, Chuck, edit.
Check. There's another one.
I can't help you anymore.
I thought that was a terrible decision. I didn't make any bones about it. I thought that was short-sighted. I think the economics would have made sense. Had the governor been the president when we built the interstate system, we would have built the interstate system, because transportation never pays for itself, ever. That was a huge economic opportunity for us. It didn't happen, and so we're going to have to go back to square one. Obviously, the voters had a different opinion on the issue of light rail. I think multimodal transportation goes right to the heart of our ability to compete as a region. I think we are one of the few regions around the country that doesn't have some type of mass transit. Mass transit takes many forms. Not only is it light rail, it's HOV lanes, it's, you know, more efficient buses, it's bicycles. I mean, it's all kinds of things. So we as a community, it can't be so myopic to think that we're going to build our way out of the road problem. You can't build enough road miles and road lanes to accommodate the road. I mean, we're already 10 years behind the curve. And so we've got to look at other options. I don't think the 2012 ballot is the appropriate place for it. I think that the campaign that was launched last year was a great start and a great educational process. I think there were things that we learned from, that mistakes that were made. I think we could have been more specific. I think voters want details. They want to know where the routes are. They want to know where the stops are. They want to know where the parking rides are. They want to know how much it's going to cost. They want to know what the debt service is going to be. And that campaign wasn't able to provide that comfort level to the people out there in the community. And so I think we've got to go back at some point, I think it needs to be on a regional basis. I think we need to connect Pasco to Hillsborough to Pinellas. I think there's a recognition that there are some opportunities there to do that on a more consistent and more regional basis. But it's an education process. Those of us who grew up in big cities up north, mass transit was a way of life. But the Florida growth patterns have always been suburban. People come here because they want to pull to their garage and close the garage door and not see their neighbors and have their little piece of land. And they don't want to get elbow to elbow on somewhere. Well, at some point we've got to grow up. We're becoming a big city. We've got to start acting like a big city. And if we're going to compete as a region, transportation is a huge part of it. So we've got to resolve it in some way, shape, or form. So, I was for the referendum. I advocated for it. I still believe in it. Just rode the subway 2 days ago up in D.C. It's an amazingly well-run, safe, and clean environment. And we could do that here. I think we're going to have to take baby steps. I think that many folks here, particularly those who were born and raised here, or who have never lived in an environment where there is mass transit, they want to see it, they want to touch it, they want to watch it work. So maybe the best route is from downtown to the airport so that they get a chance to get on it and ride it and see that actually, hey, this is pretty cool. You know, but we can't. I mean, we can't widen I-4 275 to compensate.
Of course, I would be remiss if we didn't ask you, and you kind of alluded to it earlier.
Baseball. All right, here we go. I think I was famously quoted in about every baseball blog in the country as saying I wasn't going to be the boyfriend in the divorce. Which was a rather appropriate analogy. The St. Pete and the Rays have a contract. They're going to have to resolve their differences. I mean, it is very much like a divorce. Somebody's going to pay. I'm not sure who, but somebody's going to pay. They're going to pay because they want to cheat, and they're going to pay because they want to move out of the house. And so, I think the day will come, because I think the Rays and Major League Baseball have decided that the Trop and St. Pete don't work. The numbers just don't work. It's not a good baseball facility. They can't make the numbers work, and they've done everything that they possibly could to try. I mean, they've been very, very good with numbers. So I think there's going to come a day where Mayor Foster, and I don't fault Bill Foster, he's going to do what he's got to do. You know, they've got a lot invested in that, both emotionally and financially. He's going to throw up every roadblock he can, but I think he realizes in the end that they're going to go somewhere else. So I think he's going to make them pay to look at some other sites around the community. And then I think if they're able to come to some type of agreement, then the Rays are going to have to pay to get out, either to pay off the loans on the stadium, and then some. And then at that point, as a region, we've got to decide whether the Rays are something that we want to keep. My personal opinion is yes. I think it's a regional asset. I think, you know, Major League Sports, even though we all know it's municipal extortion, it is an asset that brings value to the community. It's, you know, it's part of who we are. The economic impact of a Walmart is probably greater than, you know, a professional sports franchise. But by the same token, it's part of becoming a big league city, both physically and emotionally. So let's just assume, for discussion's sake, that we made the decision that the Rays are a regional entity and that we have to do whatever we have to do to try and keep them. I've also opined that I think the best place for a stadium is in downtown Tampa. I think the economic impact of a stadium in downtown Tampa far surpasses any other location. You put it at the fairgrounds, the only people who benefit are the tribe. You put it on the Raymond James site, and as we've seen from having Ray J there, I mean, other than the Mons Venus and Chili's, there's really no economic impact. I mean, it's true.
There's two going.
You're stuck with me for 3 years and 10 months. That's the only thing you can do about it. But think about it. I mean, there's no economic spin-off. There's no hotels growing up around it. There's no retail. There's no commercial. But those of you who have gone to big league cities with urban stadiums, and you see the impact of an urban stadium. I mean, go to Lodo in Denver. Go to Camden Yards in Baltimore. Go to the new stadium in San Francisco. And go to Three Rivers in Pittsburgh. I mean, there is huge economic value to a stadium in the urban core. How we're going to pay for it, I don't have a clue. I mean, the model seems to be a lot of owner money. And this ownership group indicated when they were contemplating doing the stadium in St. Petersburg that they would put it in somewhere between 50 and 300 billion. I'm hoping it's closer to 300 billion. Because the Dome Stadium is about $500 million. I mean, it's serious cash. So you have owner money, you have private equity money, and then you have the local jurisdiction doing some of the infrastructure around it. You know, if I can set up a TIF or a CRA, then I can capture some of that revenue, and you can use that revenue to help pay down some of the bonds. So there's a financing vehicle by which we could do this. it does a lot of things for us. Just imagine 80 games, 20,000 fans a night downtown Tampa. That's huge. That's huge. That fixes my trolley problem, which is bleeding red ink, which I'm going to end up having to assume. It fixes, to some degree, my parking problem. I've got a parking system that is hemorrhaging $7 billion a year. 8 out of 10 of our garages are not making money. So if any of you want to buy any, I may have some for sale. It is, and parking is supposed to be an enterprise fund, which means it's supposed to be self-sufficient. I mean, it's supposed to pay for itself. I'm having to come out of general revenue to subsidize parking systems to the tune of about $7 million a year. So, for me personally, as mayor, the economics help with the baseball stadium here. But more importantly, I think the connectivity between finally connecting Ybor City, downtown, with a baseball stadium in the middle, creating an opportunity for all that economic development, making the Riverwalk lively and vibrant. You have that, depending on where it goes, you would have that sort of sports entertainment complex in the Channel Side area. Ingress and egress are always going to be a problem in downtown Tampa. I mean, you've got to focus that traffic going out of downtown, not heading towards Harbor Island or South Tampa, because then you get clogged up in there. Folks on Harbor Island have enough challenges as it is getting on and off. But if you could run down Meridian out to Brandon for the folks who live in the county and run the traffic out to I-4 or out to the interstate, I mean, just imagine if we had gotten a high-speed rail, you now would have expanded your fan base all the way to Orlando. And vice versa for us to go watch a Magic game. I would jump on a train if I could get to Orlando in 30 minutes to go watch a Magic game. I mean, you could get off a high-speed rail from Orlando and walk to a downtown Tampa baseball stadium. I mean, it would have been huge. But, the opportunities, I think, will be there. Finding ways to create a deal that makes sense for the taxpayers and protects our interests, but at the same time finds a way to get us what I think would be an amazing legacy to leave, are pretty significant. But we've got to be creative, because the voters, you can't go out on a referendum because they'll vote it down. Rightfully so. And I can't, raise sales tax, use the sales tax to pay for it. We're already paying for a rain James stadium. I think if you look at the new owners of the Lightning, you look at Matt Silverman and Stu Sternberg at the Rays. I think you've got two very creative, very committed ownership groups that don't ask the local jurisdictions for money first. They put their own skin in. I mean, Jeff Vinnick stepped up to the plate. He didn't ask me for a damn thing, and he's put how much, Christine?
$38 million in the stadium and $10 million in the community.
Yeah, $38 million into the stadium.
Not to mention the team.
Yeah, and then another $10 million. Now, this is $38 million into the infrastructure of the stadium. This is not salaries. Then another $10 million. This is his own money, folks, that he's committed to places like Metropolitan Ministries and other community endeavors. That's the kind of ownership that we need and we deserve. And so, if you get a chance to thank him, please do. Not only did he put a great team on the ice, even though we didn't beat that lame mayor in Boston. Didn't even have the courage to show up for his phone call. But he's committed to this community as well. He's moving his family down here, and I think Stu Sternberg would be of the same kind of ilk. So I'm excited.
Great. I just wanted to open up. Does anyone have any other questions for the mayor? Yes, Nancy. Say it loud.
Mayor Buckhorn, I'm very enthusiastic about your plans for Tampa. I've been here in real estate for 23 years. I'm the founding president of Crew-Tampa Bay. We're welcome to us tonight. I wonder if you could just twist that idea of investing in a stadium in downtown Tampa and suggest what might happen if we attracted some businesses with high-paying engineering jobs to our community as a counterpoint to that. Because I've watched our community spend a lot of money in entertainment-type pursuits rather than find incentives for companies that want to come here. And our depth of options, incentives for other companies are very narrow compared to other communities. How could we take those same dollars, if we're going to endorse sports entertainment, could we grow the community better by using those same dollars in incenting companies to come to our community?
And Nancy, that's a great question. And I can tell you, I will be equally as enthusiastic about growing that sector of the economy as I am about the baseball. To me, the baseball option is not as much about baseball as it is the economic development that occurs around the baseball stadium. We just passed recently, and some of you know this, and you're absolutely right. For years, Florida has been lagging behind other jurisdictions who literally will give their firstborn away to attract companies to come to their state or to their city. For years, we were always prohibited from using property tax abatements as an opportunity to incent a deal. I mean, just to show you how ridiculous this has gotten, do you know that you could go into the lobby of the downtown Marriott Hotel today and have a picnic in the lobby?
It's owned by the city.
Because you own it.
Yeah.
Truly. And now I dare you to do it. I dare you to do it. But what happened was, in order to make that deal work, we rebated back to them about $1 million, which was the equivalent of what they would have generated in sales tax and alcohol tax and bed tax and whatnot for about 16 years. So it was a $16 million incentive. But in return for that, because we couldn't do it by abating property tax, they deeded over the lobby of the hotel to us. It's now a public park. So, Julia, get your blanket. Goes, bottle of wine goes right out in the middle of the... But that's how crazy it got, and that's how uncompetitive we were. We have now passed, both in Hillsborough County and the city of Tampa. Voters, thankfully, gave us some weapons in our arsenal that now allow us to abate property tax depending on the types of jobs that were being created, and we've targeted those same clusters that we have competitive advantages in, those types of value-added jobs that you talked about, that will allow us to incentivize either corporate relocation or growth from within. And so, even though we're not Alabama, we're not South Carolina, we're not North Carolina, we literally busted the bank to get places like Mercedes and BMW. We are now more competitive than we've ever been. And as mayor, I'm willing to put land in the deal. I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to grow that sector of the economy, particularly in our urban core. If I had been the mayor, I would have fought to the death not to lose D road prices in Pasco County. I would have fought to the death to do whatever Raymond James needed to establish 3,000 jobs in Tampa. Now, their issue was more about floodplain as opposed to development, other opportunities.
Put it on stilts.
Yeah, whatever it took. But that's what mayors do. You've got to be aggressive about it. You can't make excuses. I told our economic development folks, you put me on a plane, I will go anywhere, anytime to talk to anybody if you think me being there would be of value to you. And so, the press is probably right about me flying off to wherever, but I don't care. But you're right. It's not. To me, it's not a trade-off between sports versus jobs. I think we can do both.
One last question, Julia.
Whether or not you believe in the political world of the Republican National Convention
Oh,
is coming
I
in
love it.
2000,
Yeah.
what are your plans to make Tampa shine?
It's so funny because I tell my Republicans friends they will probably not even let me in the venue. But I'll be the best darn host that they've ever had. You think about this opportunity, and I am so excited about this. And to me, I don't give a damn what your party label is. This is an economic development opportunity. It's just not a partisan.
Amen.
If you want to bring 40,000 Tea Party folks to come here, I'll be there. I'd rather not. But, there will be 15,000 journalists from all over the world in Tampa, Florida for a week. You talk about the opportunity to showcase our city for the world and to talk about the great things that are going on here. The titans of industry will be here to participate or to observe that convention. I mean, it is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Tampa to do what we do best, which is put on big events, but more importantly, in this case, put them on in a very targeted and selective way by going after those folks who can invest here, who their companies here, who Tampa needs to be on their radar. That's what I see that my job is. You know, it's gonna be safe, and we'll, you know, if you want to protest, there'll be an appropriate place for it, and if you cross the line, you're going to jail. And I don't care what you're saying, you're going to jail. The anarchists are not going to disrupt my convention in my city with the world watching. Period. But it's a logistical challenge. It's a security challenge. I mean, the Secret Service will in essence throw a blanket over parts of downtown that people will not be allowed in unless they have the appropriate credentials. But it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We do these big events as well as anybody, even though this one is bigger than most. It's going to be huge. It is going to be an exciting place to be. Maybe they'll let me in. Because last time I had to turn the water off in the building.
Mayor, thank you so much.
I'm the economic developer that moved to your price.
I know you did. I haven't forgiven you yet. Just for the record, I didn't do that to her arm. I know she does. She's converted. It's all good.
Anything I can do to help you?
Get him back.
Get them back.
Now get another one.
All right. That's great. Yeah, congratulations. That was great for Pasco.
Mayor, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming.
guys. Yeah, thanks.